And maybe you recognize me from the emails sent by Wagner. My name is Petra Pál. I'm working on export sales at Wagner Solar. The company was established in 2002 as a family business. Since then, has been running by Hungarian ownership and the management also Hungarian. And before we start, we would like to know how well you know SolarEdge products. So please, in the comment section, send us your answers. None, you are not know anything about it. You are a beginner, you use it, but not very often. Or you are advanced, so you very well the SolarEdge products. So we can start, István. We can learn more.
Thank you, Petra. Thank you for hosting me for this webinar. I would like to jump right into the SolarEdge universe. I like to use that word universe. You will understand why I call it universe. But first of all, I introduce myself. I am István Tóth, sales manager Hungary, responsible for residential market and commercial market as well. And I will cover both topics in that presentation. But I'm also wondering, who are you and what is your level of knowledge in SolarEdge? Are you using SolarEdge every week, maybe every day? Or it is just a plan and you are not familiar with our solutions? Just because it's very difficult to figure out what is the correct and proper content in such a presentation. I will talk about 50 minutes. Obviously, it's impossible to explain everything, but I leave some time for the questions at the end of the presentation, so you will have opportunity to ask. And my first idea is, if you had a question, immediately just put that in the chat box and ask. And I will come back to that question later. So the short agenda for today is okay. I need to control. Petra, maybe you have the control. Yes, okay. Agenda. I will explain who we are and why people and companies choose SolarEdge. We have many benefits, why we are the leaders in the PV space. Some technical explanation, what is MLPE, what is optimizer, how does it work? And as I said, I will introduce the residential and commercial product portfolio. I will give you a very short glimpse into the utility scale product portfolio. I want to emphasize the safety features, and I will explain how you will get more support, more information, what is the best way to be much more familiar with the products and solutions. Okay. What is SolarEdge? Well, SolarEdge is the #1 inverter manufacturer in the world. You see the statistics. We have shipped 5.5 million inverters worldwide, and we have more than 3.6 million monitored systems worldwide, and we have presented in many countries. So SolarEdge is a globally presented international company, leader in the PV space. But you may ask how I mean leader, why I mean we are the #1. I mean by revenue. It's important to know because there are other metrics. Who is the first? Who is the second? But by these metrics, by revenue, we are the first. By the way, we had $3 billion revenue in 2023. Also worth mentioning the R&D activities. R&D is a main focus here in SolarEdge. We are a very innovative company. You will see later why our technology is totally different to the traditional inverter technology. The whole company was established in 2006 in Israel. And we have R&D centers in Israel, in Bulgaria, in Italy, in Korea, and we have manufacturing facilities in China, Vietnam, North America, and maybe the closest manufacturing facility for us is in Hungary, in West Hungary, in SolarEdge. We are producing optimizers. It's a really a huge factory, I would say. So it is one of the important and main pillars of the SolarEdge manufacturing activities. Numbers about the benefits. There are 4 important factors why people and companies choose SolarEdge. The first of all, I would mention we are able to produce more energy. When I say more, I usually compare SolarEdge to traditional string inverter producers. Why? Because we use special technology. We call it MPPT. This is the maximum power point tracking. This is the optimizer. This is the main task of the optimizer, to produce more, to collect more sunshine. And the end result is more energy to the user. How much more, I will explain later. Well, the second very important factor is a lower or maintenance cost. We also thanks this factor to the optimizer, but just because we are able to monitor each panels, we know a lot of information about each panels. In any case of a failure, we are able to pinpoint that module immediately, and we can replace or fix the failure. Safety. Safety is number 1 topic everywhere in the world, but there are many aspects of safety. What is safety? I mean fire safety. I mean cyber security. There are many concerns in many places of the world in cyber attacks, cyber security, firefighting, or any emergency case. We have many features how we handle the safety questions. And flexible design. Thanks to the optimizers, we use less strings and longer strings, and we can save the investment costs on the cabling. But it is just in a nutshell. I will come back to the details later. But I will start an explanation why I said we produce more energy, and what is the explanation of that compared to this traditional string inverters. So I'll give you an easy example. Let's imagine that we are not in the online space, but we are in the same room, and we stand up and hold each other's hand and form a queue. And let's imagine that we are a string. We are the PV modules, and we form a string of modules. That's the way how the traditional string inverters work. And imagine that ice cream van arrived to the street, and we hear the bells of the ice cream van, and we like the chocolate ice cream, and we want to collect as much ice cream as possible, and we would like to reach the ice cream van as soon as possible. But it's not easy because we are in a string, and the members of the string, maybe I am older, but maybe there are younger members in that string, and the younger members are faster than me. So the whole string will reach that ice cream van, of course, but compared to the SolarEdge solution, in the SolarEdge solution, we work independently, separately, and the fast members of that group will reach the chocolate ice cream faster, and they can use their potential. What does it mean? Potential means, in that analogy, they are faster than me. And if we use that analogy to the PV strings, with SolarEdge optimizers, each module is able to collect as much energy as possible. The age is another excellent example, because I use this in this example. But the PV modules also have an age. They age in different pace. We call that phenomena degradation. So they are degrading in different pace. Some of the modules are aging faster, other modules age not so fast. But with SolarEdge optimizer, they can use their potential maximally. This is the meaning of maximum power point tracking. And we started that technology first in the world, and there are serious consequences of that technology. And it offers many, many benefits to the users. First of all, higher energy yield. I tried to explain it. You may ask how much higher, and it's a quite complicated question, but we have many case studies when we studied and calculated, monitored that effect. And I would say that it is 3.2% in the first year. This is the level of the additional energy that optimizers can provide. But it is much, much higher in the 20th year, because on the 20th year, it could be even 10% more. It is so if we see that all questions for the whole lifetime of the PV array, all the whole PV systems, the difference is huge. But I will come back to that topic later when I will talk about the financials, because it is not only a technical question, it is also a financial question. Because if I am not able to use the full potential of each module, it means I lose money. But let's jump to the next slide. Another consequences. We always mention the shading. It is an obvious example. What's happening in one string if one or more modules are shaded? In the traditional string inverter will align to the worst performance module power output. But in our case, remember my example when we hold our hands, each other's hand. We don't depend on other module performances. Each optimizers work independently and use the full potential of the module. So the shading is an obvious example, but there are other examples that always happen in every PV array. I mentioned the degradation. Degradation is also difference between two modules. What else? I need your help, guys. Just call it at least two more. What effects can cause differences between the module power output? So if you had any idea, just drop your answer to the chat box. It's not so difficult because you can see another examples in this slide. Yeah, thermal mismatch. What does it mean? Thermal mismatch. Imagine a huge PV array, ground mounted or on the roof. Doesn't matter. You can imagine easily that those modules which are situated at the middle of the PV array, those modules temperature is higher compared to the PV modules on the edge on the end of the PV array. Why? Because the wind or other cooling effects are better, works better in the end of the array, not in the middle. So there is a difference between the surface temperature of the modules. It causes differences. We handle it with optimizers, but the traditional string inverters align to the worst case, the highest temperature module power output. So, in a nutshell, we are able to handle the differences, and there are always differences, regardless of is it a shaded roof or not shaded roof. The very basic reason of the difference is just the degradation. Okay, what is optimizer? How does it look like? What kind of optimizers we have? Okay, I explained the shading effect and what other benefits we have. We can use and install and design the strings much more flexible way. Safety, yeah, the very basic principle of the SolarEdge systems is a fixed string voltage. So I usually say that there are two different words in PV space. Traditional inverters, that's one working principle, and SolarEdge. And this is the main difference between them. We always have fixed string voltage. This is the task of the optimizers to modify the voltage of each module and maintain a fixed voltage, which is around 800 volts in residential system. On the flip side, traditional inverters string voltage always variable. There is a wide range of voltage may happen in a string in a traditional inverter case, and the efficiency is always variable. The best efficiency could be reached somewhere in the middle at that voltage range. On the other hand, in the case of SolarEdge, we are able to maintain a very high efficiency rate due to that fixed string voltage. So it's a huge difference in the basic principle. Sorry for the very detailed, it's not very detailed explanation, but it's very good to know why SolarEdge is totally different to any other technologies. But I would speed up my presentation. Maybe I spent too much time explaining the difference in basic principle. I would like to show you this interesting screenshot. It's a screenshot. I already mentioned that we have a monitoring system. We are famous for the quality and and the comprehensive approach of our monitoring system. But you have to know that we will introduce a brand new monitoring system for C&I projects. And this screenshot came from that test version of that new SolarEdge 1. It is the name of that new monitoring system. And why is it interesting? You can see three different interesting characteristics of that screenshot. First of all, you see it's a very complicated roof, full of obstacles, full of different directions, full of maybe different kind of panels. And I usually say the more complicated, the better, because we can use the SolarEdge solution easily in such a complicated situation. Another important and interesting is the colors. It looks a drone footage, right? You can see orange and yellow colors, and it represents the temperature of the PV array. Traditionally, you need to use a drone and a drone recording, and you will get information, temperature information from the drone. So with the new SolarEdge 1, and thanks to the optimizers, new S series optimizers, I will explain it later why, but you are able to see your commercial system from that perspective with temperatures. It's very easy to pinpoint where is the problem, what's the most common problem in PV arrays. Hotspot, for example, hotspot, and you can pinpoint, yes, there is a hotspot. Or you can see on the right that some PV modules are black. It means they don't work. So there is something happened with those panels, and you can pinpoint these failures immediately sitting in front of your computer in your office. It's a huge advantage, and you can save a lot of money with that advantage. Okay. Optimizers. I've been talking about principles, not products, but on that slide, you can see the current optimizer portfolio. Maybe you are familiar with the previous optimizer products, the P series. P series is still available in Wagner Solar also. You can purchase the P series optimizer at a very discounted price, but Petra will talk about it at the end of the presentation. But the current portfolio is the S series optimizer. And what is the most important feature of the S series optimizer? This is the Sense Connect technology. In a nutshell, it means a temperature sensor in the optimizer. With that temperature sensor, we can provide much higher quality safety features. You may ask, it's a typical question from customers, what kind of optimizers they can use in one string? If they want to extend one string, which are working with P series optimizers, is it possible to put S series or not possible, or which one exactly? So we have an intercompatibility technical note. you can find the technical note on the SolarEdge.com website, but I put that link into that slide. If you click on that link, you will find what optimizer is compatible to what older type optimizers. Additionally, it of course it's important to know how to design a string with optimizers. There are many rules, not so many, but there are some simple rules how to do that. First of all, you have to open the datasheet of the optimizer, and you will see that the minimum number of optimizer in one string is limited, and the maximum number of the optimizer is also limited. And you have to know which module do you want to use for that optimizer, and what is the maximum power, the STC, the nominal power, STC nominal power of that module. And knowing all information, you will know which is the best optimizer for that design. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to explain or run through of these design rules, but maybe it's not necessary. Why not? Because we have an excellent designer tool. It's a free of charge online tool. We call it Designer. And if you don't have time, or you don't want to know all data by heart, or you don't want to search on internet, use Designer, because Designer will know much better. It is updated, easy to use, free of charge online tool. And obviously all of these Designer rules are built in the Designer. I will show it later. Okay, it is just a 50-minute presentation, so I'm quite sure that you need much more information. How do you get information? So how many of you are installing on the site? I'm opening the chat box. Maybe you have already answered. We are using SolarEdge on daily basis, advanced. Good to hear. Congratulations, Lucas. So in that case, I think you are familiar with these tools. But first of all, you need to use the Knowledge Center. So if you open the SolarEdge website, SolarEdge.com, in the right corner, you can open a menu point for installers, and you will find Knowledge Center. In Knowledge Center, you can find all installation guides, all datasheets, application note, and you can download these application notes or installation guides, and everything is written in these documents. If you prefer watching videos, just open YouTube and search for, let's say you are interested in how to install battery. It's a good example and quite hot topic, the battery. So if you type 48-volt SolarEdge, it's enough to type in the search field of the YouTube. You will find 3 different videos. The first video is about an unboxing and cabling, and the second is the installation, and the third is the commissioning. And you will find that in English, in German, maybe in other languages, but you will find answers quite fast via these channels. But I would recommend to visit the Learning Center. We call it SolarEdge Academy, because you will find tons of information in that website. It's also free of charge. You need an account, and you can use, and you can finalize trainings. It is quite entertaining. Not don't think about it as just a presentation or a boring video when just one guy is explaining things. No, it is entertaining, and you will get certification at the end. And there are different levels of certification: fundamental, expert level. So I would recommend to start and finish any of these trainings. We have another example. We have a battery installation training on that Edge Academy. So I encourage everybody to try it and use it. Okay, going back to technical questions, I would like to introduce the Home Hub ecosystem. This is the residential solution of SolarEdge. Maybe I have mentioned, maybe not, but it's important to know that we are not a simple inverter manufacturer anymore. So we have a much wider perspective and vision, and we are controlling the whole energy household. Not only the PV generation. This is the beginning of the SolarEdge story, when we were concentrated on the PV generation and the highest efficiency. But nowadays we are focusing on the whole household, how to distribute the energy in the most efficient way. And it is the ecosystem. This is the right word for that. Home Hub ecosystem and energy management, not only the inverter. So what is it exactly? I separated in the three-phase solutions and one-phase solution. So the Home Hub inverter, it is available in three different AC power output, 5, 8, and 10 kilowatts. A very important part of the ecosystem is the battery. You can see two modules on the picture. One module is 4.6 kilowatt hour capacity, and you can use 5 modules for one inverter, and you can use 3 Home Hub inverter in one site. These batteries has LFC chemistry, quite common in that space, and the solution is and the battery is DC coupled. What does it mean? So if we producing energy from the PV, we are able to charge the batteries. Simultaneously, we are able to use the AC energy from the inverter. You can use 200% DC oversizing. I think it is amazing. So if you have a 5 kilowatt AC power Home Hub, you can use 10 kilowatt peak modules on the roof. It's a lot. It's a lot. And why is it important? And why is it important to have a DC coupled battery? Because we have a much higher efficiency. It's not necessary to change the AC to DC and DC to AC. You can save that efficiency. Okay, and optimizers, of course. All SolarEdge solution work only with optimizer. It's not an option, it's a must. You have to use optimizers. And the energy meter, you can see the inline meter on the picture. Inline meter means all current transformers are built in. It's not necessary to order and install the current transformers separately. It's built in. It has 3-phase version and 1-phase version as well. Very easy to use. Very small size. Okay, I also want to talk about the smart devices. Here, okay. I didn't mention, but it's important that Home Hub is the brain. It is the center of the whole system, and this brain communicates to the devices in a wireless way. But it is not Zigbee. Maybe some of you are familiar with the previous SolarEdge solution that was Zigbee, but it is not Zigbee, it is not Wi-Fi, it is not Bluetooth. It is a brand new solution from SolarEdge. So we developed that more reliable solution. We call it Home Network. So all Home Hub inverters are home network ready. The communication is built in the inverter, and all devices are able to communicate wirelessly with the brain, with the inverter. Inline meter also wireless inline meter. In that case, Home Hub inverters have 2 antennas. One antenna for the Wi-Fi, another antenna for the home network communication. Okay, smart devices. It's a quite unique SolarEdge feature offering smart devices. We have 4 different smart devices. Maybe the most commonly used smart device will be the hot water device. If we have free energy, we have, or the system has 2 options: export the energy to the grid or use the energy on site. The first, an obvious example for the using is the charging the battery. But why not using why so we are able to put the energy into the hot water? It is another way of energy accumulation. The family will use the hot water. We need hot water all over the year, so we can heat up a traditional hot water boiler, a hot water tank, with this hot water controller. So it is an electronic device available in 2 power output, 3.5 and 5 kilowatt output, and we can put that energy into the hot water tank with these devices. Smart plug-in, smart switch. We are able to control any other electrical device. A very good example is a heat pump. It is possible to use or control heat pump, start a heat pump if we have a free energy. In Central Europe, we have free energy in summertime, and with this example, the heat pump will start to cool down the building. Or you can imagine any other electrical device that you want to control with these smart devices in wireless way.
István, we have one question.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to answer your questions. Is it your question? How can older SolarEdge inverter with Zigbee communicate with newer smart device communicating through NAT protocol? Very good question, but I can't answer you right now. So I need to open the documentation and search for the right answer. You will get the answer later, right after the webinar, Lucas. Any other question right now? Later, okay. So, as I mentioned, the whole Home Hub ecosystem is available in one-phase version. Of course, the power output of the inverters are different. You can see them on the slide. And the battery is also different because we have a 9.8 kilowatt hour capacity battery for the one-phase solution. And we have a one-phase inline meter. But the chemistry of that battery is NMC. I didn't mention in the previous slide, but it is the available capacity, not nominal. All other producers, or most of them, are communicating the nominal capacity of the batteries. And they also communicating a minimum level of the energy in the battery. In lithium-ion batteries, it is usually between 10 and 15%. Under that charging level of the battery will be destroyed. But not in the SolarEdge case. In SolarEdge, we are communicating that energy quantity that is always available for the users. It is 9.8 kilowatt hour in that case. And you can use 3 batteries for one inverter. Another very clever product from SolarEdge, it is backup interface, available in one-phase version and 3-phase version. If in case of grid failure, what's happening in the traditional systems, we are not able to use the PV array because the standard inverter needs AC from the grid. But with that solution, with the backup interface, it is able to separate the grid and the house. And we are able to supply energy from the battery or from the PV array, or simultaneously from the battery and from the PV array. And we are able to support the provide energy the house in case of grid failure. We call it backup mode. So in backup mode, what's happening? We should know which are the more important appliances in the house. Imagine a situation in grid failure. What do you need in that case? Do you need the sauna, for example? I don't think so. But you need maybe the Wi-Fi router. Maybe you need maybe you want to leave your house and you want to open the garage door, and you need supply for the garage open motor. So you need to know what is the prioritization in your household, and you can do that. You can program what will happen in case of grid failure. So what is the first is the fridge. The second is the Wi-Fi router, and the last is the sauna. And how you can do that? I go back in 2 slides. You can use the smart devices. So smart devices are usable for 2 reasons. The first, I explained the first reason, to maximize the self-consumption of the household. We talked about that. And the second reason, how this whole energy management will decide what is the most important consumer in the house. we will define it. We can program all of these in the application, the My SolarEdge application. We can program, yes, the fridge is more important than the sauna, just in that example. Okay, we can do that in asymmetric way, and the maximum current is 63 amperes, 3 multiplied 63 amperes in case of 3 phase inverters. I also mentioned that all devices are communicating in wireless way with the home hub, but it is still not true, not yet true in that case, because the inverter and the backup interface are connected by wire in that moment. Later, we are working on the next solution, which will be wireless in the future. But now we need cable. And I also want to mention that our backup interface includes the metering. So you don't need to buy the inline meter and install separately the inline meter, because backup interface includes the metering. Okay, I speed up the presentation, and I already mentioned it. Software suite. I talked about hardwares, but softwares are also very, very important in SolarEdge world, because they help you, they support you in the whole way of your SolarEdge activities from the very beginning. When you meet your customer first time, we have a sales supporting software. We call it SolarEdge proposal tool. Not yet introduced. It will be introduced in the future. But the designer tool is a very well known and widely used sales supporter online tool, and not only for design or draw a site, but to get much more information about the energy production and consumption, and very useful information which will be shared with potential customers. So it's a sales support tool. Another tools for installation. We are introducing the SolarEdge Go tool in the next days or weeks, depending on the country. It's a brand new tool which will include much more functionality. And I would recommend it all installers, all SolarEdge people who work with us every day, every week. It's a must. Download SolarEdge Go as soon as possible and try it. It's something new and you will enjoy it, I promise. Monitoring system. A very, very famous and very widely used tool is the monitoring. And the My SolarEdge application, it is not for the installers, but for the homeowners. Don't mix them. Homeowners use My SolarEdge app. And we have our referral program also. Designer. Yeah, unfortunately, one of my favorite topics, the designer, because I am a salesman and I like it very much. It explains how does it work, and the benefits, benefits are visible during using the designer. Try it. But we don't have so much time left, unfortunately. So I will talk about the commercial product portfolio, which is changing and we are providing more and more products in that space. SolarEdge One, also a very important software, which will cover all commercial needs. We know very well that these kind of needs are differentiated to residential. So a commercial site is not a big residential site. There are special needs. Here is the commercial product portfolio. But I would emphasize the inverter, some words about Synergy family. Synergy family starts from 66 kilowatt up to 100 kilowatt. You can see 100, 200, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 kilowatts in that slide, in that picture. Because one inverter, one SolarEdge inverter includes 4 boxes in that case, in 100 kilowatt case. You can see 3 vertically situated box and 1 horizontally situated box. The horizontally situated box, this is the energy manager, and energy manager depends on the AC power output. So you can order 100 kilowatt AC manager, and you have to order 3 pieces of Synergy boxes. So it doesn't matter the nominal power output of the inverter, because the article number and the Synergy box is always the same. And we have huge benefits of that solution. Just imagine a case of a failure on the site. It's not necessary to switch off everything. You can just replace 1 unit, and the energy production will be almost the same. So it is lightweight, very easy to replace, not necessary to open. You are not able to open it. It is a sealed unit. You just replace it very quickly. There are some product versions of Synergy, depending on which kind of surge protection you need on that side. AC side, surge protection, or DC side, or both sides. Surge protection, you can order different versions of Synergy units. Another important point, good to know that it has 175 DC-AC ratio. It is incredibly high figure. So you can use much more kVp on the side, or on the flip side, you can choose a lower size, smaller size inverter on AC side. So 175%, this is the ratio, DC-AC ratio. Yeah, okay. Synergy. Some minutes left. And I have still at least 8 slides. But I picked one topic, which is a really important topic. This is the safety. I would say the safety is in the DNA of SolarEdge. From the very beginning, safety is a priority, and we have many safety features. We call it layers, safety solution layers. First of all, Safe DC. What is Safe DC? It's another very unique SolarEdge feature. Safe DC means every optimizers on the string will go back to a default value. It is 1 volt per optimizer. So each optimizer will output only 1 volt and milliamperes in case of any failure, or if you switch off the inverter, or a signal from a fire alarm system switched off the inverter, or you cut the cable, a DC cable. The save DC function will switch off the modules or decrease the voltage of each optimizer at 1 volt. It is very unique, just because in traditional string inverters, it is impossible, no way to switch off the modules. In case of failure, inverter problem, an issue on the side, they are generating the electricity. You have just one option to switch off that power production. You cover the PV module. If you are not able to cover that with a blanket, it is just in theory, I know, but no way to switch off the power generation in traditional string inverter case. But remember the basic principle. When I started the whole presentation explaining the basic principle, we don't connect the PV modules in the string in one series. We connect the optimizers, not the modules. And we are able to switch off the optimizer, or let's say, go back to a default 1 volt value. Very important safety function. How we can do that? Because we have a signal. All optimizers send a signal to the inverter. The inverter is the brain, and this inverter always checking the status of the optimizers. If any of the optimizers doesn't send a signal, it means there is an issue on the string, and the save DC feature is activated. Okay, just one word about the Sense Connect. For 2 words, Sense Connect is a built-in temperature sensor in S-series optimizers. So we know the temperature of the optimizers, and we use that data in the monitoring, and we are able to prevent the issues, not react a failure, but to prevent a failure. I would emphasize that important sentence. Okay. As you see, I have another interesting topics, but I ran out of time. Questions? Do you have any question? No questions, but of course, we are available. So if you had any questions, just send to Wagner Solar, and we try to answer. I would like to say thank you for your participation, and I would give back the words to Reka. Reka is also present something.
Thank you, István, for your presentation. It was very nice. So as I mentioned, the company was established in 2002, and with these decades of technical expertise and professional market experience, we are also official distributors and exclusive Hungarian distributor of certain premium brands, as you can see. And you can find everything in our product range from the bottom and until the roof, like EV charger, heat pumps, boilers, solar panels as well. We can go to the next.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm still here.
Thank you. Thanks for assisting. And as you can see, this is just an example of how many SolarEdge products we have on stock at this moment. We have old and new as well. And as István mentioned, we have the P series of the optimizers. And these optimizers also can be used to expand previously installed systems. Not the new ones, the old ones, if I'm correct. Yes? Am I correct?
You are correct, and I would also mention something interesting. We let a higher power and higher current in some cases. So it's a very yeah, I would say it's always good to check in and open the designer, because these new rules are immediately built in designer. So you will see your example in if you put them in designer. So maybe I didn't explain very well. So not open only the data sheet, because the designer is more frequently updated.
Okay, thank you. And also, based on these old models, we can offer smaller panels like 355, which are also compatible with the older optimizers and the previously installed systems as well. And I would like to mention or promotion, this is a Home Hub promotion. If you order at least 5,000 euros by end of April, the first 10 customers will receive a Home Hub demo as a gift. So it's a really good solution, I guess, and option for everyone. And also we have every kind of SolarEdge product, so you can contact us if you need anything, not just SolarEdge, of course, any kind of brands. And also you can visit us online or in person. Anytime you are welcome, like just happened today, because we have a Slovakian partner and he just traveled to Hungary. They went to a wellness weekend and they just jumped into our office for a coffee. It's always welcome. So, and if you have any questions regarding price list or product list, you can contact us and you can require from me or from my colleagues as well. So you are very welcome, and thank you to join us.
Thank you very much, and I wish you a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, István. Bye.
Bye-bye.